My name is Sue Whittington, and we have lived in this house for 42 years, and it was really the garden that attracted me to it. It's changed quite a lot, but it was a lovely garden then, and hopefully it's got good bits and some rocky bits. This terrace area where I'm sitting now was very formal, red, pink and white roses. All of those have gone, apart from the white roses, which are old and blousy and wonderful. The house was built in about 1780 and faces south, and the garden, for a long time, it was a care home, nursing home, until 1963, when it was falling into disrepair, and the trustees sold it. And they sold the garden for development, and Kingsley Place was built in the garden of this house, and the house itself and some land was squared off and sold to an architect who developed it for himself. And that is really, really good to buy a house from an architect who did it for himself. It's been very lucky for us. There are 3 ponds, which I think probably date from Victorian times or Edwardian times, when I think they were spring pumped, because there wasn't enough electricity then to put pumps in. We inherited a greenhouse when we came here, but it was very ramshackle, and for my serious birthday my husband very kindly had it rebuilt, and you'll see it's my pride and joy. There's one tree stump which has been carved into a splash. It was a vast conifer which tilted in a storm in 2014 and had to be cut halfway down during the storm because it was so dangerous. This sculpture was done by Ed Elliott, who is a tree sculptor. It's basically a splash. The ball landed in the middle of the puddle, and this is the water that went up. We had a little bit argument, Ed and I, because he wanted to do something figurative and I wanted something abstract. And we eventually decided this was a good compromise and satisfied both of us. This wall was covered, which goes along the side of the garage, was covered with a vast pyracantha hedge when we came here, and one day it fell down. The whole thing fell across the rose bed, and we decided to get rid of that because we couldn't possibly haul it up, and it was not very nice and horribly prickly. And so instead we planted these hornbeams. Normally this area is just the forecourt, and then we have flowers and things here, but this year I'm growing vegetables, so that bed down there is chard and broad beans and garlic and French beans and sugar snap, and over there I've got parsley and zucchini. This area also had a huge pyracantha hedge, which we also got rid of, and planted these yew trees instead and kept them as columns so they don't look too dark because they're north facing. This area is quite difficult to plant, and we've recently had to remove a lot of box because it was being devoured by the dreaded caterpillar. This is the top of the 3 ponds, the highest one, and normally the waterfall comes over the top, but as I say, it's not functioning at the moment, and it's all densely planted around. The garden has many self-sown yew trees in it, which are topiary into various shapes. A couple of columns there, and they're all over the garden.